Usagi delivers as advertised, Hong Kong battered by wind and rain. Former Chongqing party boss jailed for life. And Angela Merkel set for third term in Germany. Good evening. The number 8 northwest gale or storm signal remains in force as severe typhoon Usagi edges closer to Hong Kong. At 11 p.m, Usagi was centered about 90 kilometers northeast of Hong Kong. It will be closest to the territory in the next few hours. With Usagi one of the most powerful storms to affect the city in years, many people have taken steps to protect their property and businesses just in case, while others have ventured outside to have a look despite the warnings. Stephanie Choi reports.
Wannabe storm chasers in Tim Sa Choi look like they're having the time of their lives, just as everyone else is staying indoors. The last passengers were seen boarding the Star Ferry at around 8 p.m. as staff lowered the gates soon after. Winds began to strengthen tonight as severe typhoon Usagi edged closer to Hong Kong. In Heng Fa Chun, residents who are still out and braving the storm could be seen rushing to take cover in their homes. Windows were taped up to prepare for worsening weather conditions. And in an otherwise crowded Causeway Bay, the few who could still be seen outside struggled to keep their umbrellas upright as they rushed in and out of the MTR. Stilt houses in Lei Yun Moon are getting flooded as tides begin to rise. And boats are rocking to swells. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
A number of airlines, including Cathay Pacific and Dragonair, cancelled all flights in and out of Hong Kong earlier this evening. The airport authority says more than 400 flights have been affected. Vicky Kung has that part of the story. And meanwhile, residents on the mainland are also feeling the power of Usagi. The storm made landfall in Shanwei in Guangdong province this evening. Earlier, Evelina Leung filed this report. Today's other big story now. Former Chongqing Communist Party boss Bo Xilai has been jailed for life after being found guilty of bribery, embezzlement and abuse of power. He has also been deprived of political rights for life, and his personal assets have been confiscated. The harsh sentence is being seen as a warning to avoid the controversy Bo got himself into as Beijing draws a line under the country's biggest political scandal in decades. Tony Sabine reports. We turn to Kenya, where a deadly hostage situation continues at this hour in a Nairobi shopping mall. As Sonia Terror reports, a group of gunmen stormed the mall and began shooting and throwing grenades at shoppers. The death toll has risen to 59 and close to 200 were injured. To Germany, where voters look set to hand Angela Merkel a third term in the country's first national election since Europe's debt crisis erupted 4 years ago. Polling stations there have just closed. Of the 62 million eligible voters in Germany, about a third describe themselves as undecided. Merkel and her conservative Christian Democratic Union appear likely to fend off a challenge from rival Peer Steinbrück, the leader of the Social Democratic Party. The vote is being closely watched by Berlin's European partners, with many hoping if Merkel wins, she'll soften her approach towards struggling Euro states like Greece. A statue of former South African President Nelson Mandela has been unveiled in Washington, D.C. The statue is located outside the South African embassy, the same site where thousands of protesters demanded an end to apartheid and Mandela's release from prison back in the 1980s. The 3-meter statue by a South African sculptor depicts Mandela's legacy of the nearly 3 decades he spent in jail under apartheid. The 95-year-old Nobel Peace Prize laureate continues to suffer from a recurring lung infection, but is now at home among family. In sports, Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel led from pole to flag at the Singapore Grand Prix for his third straight win in the Lion City. Ferrari's Fernando Alonso was second, followed by Kimi Raikkonen of Lotus. Vettel increased his lead in the Drivers' Championship to 60 points over Alonso, with 6 races remaining. Sweden's Henrik Stenson is 1 round away from the biggest win of his career. The 37-year-old will also pocket $11 million if he can finish the job at the Tour Championship in Atlanta. In football, Chelsea moved back to the top of the table in the English Premier League after a 2-0 win over Fulham. Meanwhile, Liverpool slipped up at home to Southampton. Jameson Wong has highlights. And just a reminder, the number 8 northwest gale or storm signal remains in force, and we'll keep you up to date on severe typhoon Usagi throughout the night. That's the news. Thanks for watching.